Do you pay for your prescription or do you have any exemption? At the back of any NHS prescription, there is a list of exemptions, and if any applies to you, then you don't need to pay for your medication. Each exemption has a letter corresponding to it, but which one applies to you? Let's have a look. Exemption A is for people aged 60 or older, or if the patient is younger than 16 years old. Exemption B. If you are 16, 17 or 18 and in full-time education, select this exemption. Exemption D applies to you if you have a maternity exemption certificate. You can request and use a maternity exemption certificate if you are pregnant or 12 months after giving birth. If you had a miscarriage, abortion or stillbirth, you can still use the certificate until it expires. Exemption E applies to you if you have a medical exemption certificate. Under certain medical conditions or physical disabilities, you are entitled to a medical exemption certificate. Ask your GP for more information. Select Exemption F if you purchased a prescription prepayment certificate. If you are not exempt from paying NHS prescription, but normally pay for 2 or more prescription medications a month, then you should consider purchasing a prepayment certificate to save money. You can choose between a 3 months or a 12 months one, and all the prescriptions you collect within this time will be included. Exemption G applies to you if you have a valid war pension certificate and you have a prescription for a medication of your accepted disability. Exemption L. If you have applied for full help with health costs through the NHS Low Income Scheme and have a valid 8C2 certificate, then you, your named partner, and any dependent children are entitled to free NHS prescriptions. If you receive income support or ESA, income-related employment and support allowance, then you, your named partner, and any dependent children will be entitled to free NHS prescriptions. If you have a GSA certificate, income-based job seekers allowance, your exemption is letter K. If you have a low income and meet certain criteria, you might be eligible for a tax credit exemption certificate. There is no need for you to apply for this certificate. If you are eligible, you will automatically receive one by NHS BSA. If you are entitled to a pension credit guarantee credit, your exemption is going to be letter S. If you have a low income and fall within certain criteria, you can request an universal credit certificate, not to be confused with the income support or GSA certificate we talked about earlier. By selecting the wrong exemption, you can be fined by the NHS. So it's important to let the pharmacist know the correct exemption that applies to you and to be able to show proof if needed.